Just where it was needed, gleaming black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing, faces merge and change, but your face remains the same. Swallows will be here by the door. When we're finally sober, they'll be gone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's just me tonight so far, so you're stuck with me. Hello. I'm Lauren Niles. I'm mostly right horror. My book, Tiny Shippers, is out now. It's a short story flash drabble collection. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering. I just ate a spicy chicken nugget. Whew. Anyway, hi. And now the cars are going crazy out there. But hello. I'm gonna say hello to people in chat. Hello, Maggie. Hello, Mars. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Morgan. Hello, Regina. Let's see. Ariadne, hello. Are 5 characters too many for a short story? It depends on the length of the story. I have 5 in my story, Tentacles and Boomboxes. It is like 5,500 words long. So it's a LARP. So 4 people are in the LARP and 1 person is outside of the LARP setting up scares. So he's not on screen much of the time. He's mostly out there doing things. So it is 5 people, mostly 4. But I don't know. It just depends on the length of the story, I think. For a flash fiction, I feel like that would be too many. But for a short story, maybe not. Yes, depends on the roles. Working on a new fantasy book tonight, plotting and outlining. Thank you, Maggie. Hey, Jess. You don't mind being stuck with me. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Technically, it's popcorn chicken. And Roy had one, and now he wants the rest of them. Yeah. Hello, Victoria. Hello, Cool Gamer. Trying to decide if you can combine 2 characters into one. That can be helpful. Yeah. Thank you. Jocelyn, hello. Yes, Roy wants all of my chicken. All of it. Don't you, sir? My goodness. I had a Popeye's chicken sandwich, and shoo lordy, was it good. Nice. Welcome, Anna. Welcome. Once you have popcorn chicken, you can't just have something else right after, man. Yeah. And all the hellos. Cool. So, he's giving me the puppy eyes, wanting more chicken. Thank you. Yeah, so, you have to, oh, where'd you go? There you are. You have to share, sir. Oh, he's so soft. Yes. So First point of question, I guess. Have you guys had any good reads recently? Because I have been on a little bit of a reading binge. Because in the last few days, I have read these books. So, if you are looking for some horror that don't take too long to read, I've got you covered. So, I just wanted to go over them real quick because I can, because you're my hostages. So, first was The Glass Witch by our very own Lindsay Puckett. So voicey, so stinking cute. I loved it. The rabbit pooping is described as a Gatling gun. Like, yes, it is so good. I loved it to pieces. I read the first 3 volumes of Blood on the Tracks, which is a horror manga about a boy and his overprotective mother. Uncomfy. Oh my goodness. It's a psychological horror. And then I read volume 1 of Hell's Paradise, which is more of like an action horror manga. So yeah. I love the premise. I am hooked. And then I read PTSD Radio Volume 3, which is actually 5 and 6 combined. My favorite horror series of all time so far. Oh my goodness. So creepy. It's a bunch of little teeny vignette stories that all connect to a spurned hair god. So the hair god will not be forgotten. Oh no. Yeah. And then I read Tombs by Junji Ito. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah. This is a pretty dang good collection. It has Slug Girl in it, which is pretty famous. And my favorite one was The Window Next Door. The last panel, I was like, oh heck no! Oh heck no! So, yeah. Those are my recent reads. Let's see. Mara says, today I finished reading the Seafire trilogy by Natalie C. Parker. It was way better than I expected. It's light sci-fi with pirates, and it was super fun. Ooh. Hello, Nia! Just finishing up work. Be there soon. Awesome. Yes. Okay. I have more books here of what I want to read and what I'm currently reading. Including the next 3 volumes of Hell's Paradise. So they're on my list. Hazelnut's in reading Harry Potter Book 1, The Road by Cormac McCarthy, and Let There Be Fire by our very own Rachel Morley. Very cool. And I read Summer of Salt, and it was super precious and sweet and lovely. Not horror, but if you need a YA story with magical elements, check it out. Very nice. Ariadne says, recently-ish, finished Psalm for the Wild, built by Becky Chambers, and I was in awe. Immediately headed out and grabbed the sequel, which I'm diving into soon. I love when the sequel's already available. It's like, yes, please. Thank you. I feel like you would like The Road. Okay. I'll have to put it on the list. Victoria says it's on my list for next month. I've heard nothing but good things. Maggie says, I read the 8-book collection of Pet Psychic Magical Mysteries, a cozy paranormal mystery series. It was adorable, but I was glad I got the box set pre-release price. Ooh. Yes, Roy, those are my popcorn chickens. See, I'm still swooning over it. It's easy to it's easily a top read for me. Very cool. Oh, yay! Hello, Ty! We'll see if anybody shows up, but it's fine. The great cozy series I'm reading now is the Veronica Swift series by Ember May. Ooh, cool. So the books I'm currently reading now are Delicious Monsters, a YA horror by Lizelle Sambury. You may know her. She may have a channel. She may be super awesome. And I'm rereading The Stitchers, which is a middle grade horror. That is my comp title for my current middle grade that I am working on. So those two I am partway through. And then books that I want to get to, Hell's Paradise 2 through 4, Blood on the Tracks 4 through 7, and episode 13, which is let's see. Fade to Black is the newest hit ghost hunting reality TV show led by husband and wife team Matt and Claire Kirkland. It features a dedicated crew of ghost hunting experts. Episode 13 takes them to every ghost hunter's holy grail, the Paranormal Research Foundation. This crumbling, derelict mansion holds secrets and clues about bizarre experiments that took place there in the 1970s. It's also undoubtedly haunted, and Matt hopes to use scientific techniques and high-tech gear to prove it. But as the house begins to slowly reveal itself to the crew, proof of an afterlife might not be everything Matt dreamed of. So, this one is an adult horror novel, so we shall see. Yeah. I have so many books. I have a problem. But it's a nice problem. Let's see. Delicious Monsters was so good. I absolutely loved it. Awesome. I am on chapter 3, I think. So I've gotten both POVs, and now we're going to go back to the past POV. It's pretty good so far. Well, thanks, Ty. Let's see. Hello. Let's see. Just a Crush by Des LeRae is my most recent good read. Hey. And all the highs. Awesome sauce. So let me go get a timer. That's what I'm trying to think of. Let's do a 25. A clackety clackety. Okie dokie. Okay. Present, share screen. Okay. Hi, Nina. Joanne says, I love reading They Hate Each Other by Amanda Woody. Hello, BH Sprinkle. Hello. Yes. Okay. So the next question that we will get to when we come back is, what are your favorite middle grade horror stories? Well, horror / spooky. And there's an extra period in there. I need some inspiration. Yeah. So let's begin our first sprint in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, all right, all right. Hi, Nick. Um, yes. How did everybody do? I was working on my middle grade horror. Um, so, so I have a group in the story of 4 friends. The main character is a white kid that's a redhead. Maria is Hispanic, and the other two I never specified. I never gave them last names. They were just entities. So I'm trying to figure that out now. Yeah.
I made it. I'm not ready, but I'm here.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out my characters because I don't see them. So it's like, yeah, it's a kid. What race are they? I don't know. I don't know. So I'm trying to figure that out right now. And so
Do when you hear them speak, does no picture comes to your mind, right?
right.
Okay. So are there characters that you've seen on maybe through Harry Potter or some other middle grade that you've watched that you could say, I could see that kid saying this or talking this way, or they have a similar attitude? So that way you don't have to necessarily picture it in your head, but you can have a physical something and you can say, okay, yeah, he's got freckles like this kid and this kid's color eyes if you want to, because I know you love description.
Yeah. So I know main kid is freckles with red hair, so I guess he's a Weasley.
There you go.
Chloe, now that I've given her a last name, I think she's half Chinese. So she in this draft is morphing a bit. She's more of the leader now of the group instead of the everybody get along. I'm just so nice. Now she's like becoming more the I am the mediator leader of the group. So I may have given her somebody's last name that I know. So it's like, I'm stealing your last name.
I have done that. I have done that. My favorite actress has the last name of one of my characters because I just love her in everything I see.
Yeah. So she's morphing in this draft to be more of a leader role. And now that I've given her a last name, I think she's half Chinese. The last one is Peter. And like he's the jock. He did Pee-wee football, now he's junior varsity football, and he's got broad shoulders and speaks his mind even if it scares the kids. Like she could probably see into your house from her front yard. The kid is like, cool. But he's like, I'm safe. My house is down the street. So, like, he speaks his mind without thinking too much about the feelings of others. But he's still there for his friends. He will do the stuff to help them get through. So it's like, I don't know, Peter, because my default was white blonde jock in my brain. But I was reading the Stitchers, and the main characters are, one's a white girl and one is an African American guy. And so I was like, he kind of reminds me of the boy. And so I was looking up football players that I could steal last names from. So every football player I clicked on was African American. And I was like, is this a sign?
I know, that sounds like a sign.
Is it a sign? So this is going to be a very diverse group of kids on this one street. So
that's good.
Yeah. Now I'm going to have to dive into descriptions and everything. Even more so now. Yes, Roy, that is your squeaky toy. Thank you.
Oh, is that Roy? Okay, I thought
Yeah.
maybe it was Loki outside the room. I'm like, what's he doing? It's Roy.
Yeah. Hit the wrong thing. Yeah. So, how are you doing?
I'm good. A little tired, but I'm good. I'm ready to get some work done.
Nice.
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, that's what I did during the sprint.
That's good. And so you've got. I feel like you have an idea. Would taking some time out to play in what is the art reader? Would that help you?
Probably. For Jimmy, my main character, I found an actual photo of an actual kid.
Okay. Awesome.
So it's a little creepy typing 12-year-old boy into the image search. It's like, I'm not a creep. I promise. I'm trying to get character inspo. Yeah.
It's
I don't
fine. We're writers.
We'll
It's
see.
all good.
We'll see. But yeah. The question for that sprint was, do you have any spooky horror middle grade recommendations or favorites? So
Probably I don't read a lot of spooky middle grade.
I know one that you read.
That one is going to be my favorite. Yeah. And I do have the 3-book set, and I know it's not that creepy. I should just go ahead and read them all.
Yeah.
And it won't be that bad. But I did. I loved Coraline. But even reading it, there were parts where I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, and it's just Coraline. I'm such a wimp.
Yeah. So.
And that spider dad thing coming down the steps and going after that child. Oh my gosh. I will never forget that.
Let's see. Regina says 625 words. Love drafting new stuff.
Yay.
Love for Nia. Yeah, the room isn't dark.
I know. I need to turn the light off. I had it on because I was rushing in to get here. And then my daughter was talking, and then I have you on in the other room, so I have to go turn it off. And I heard you come back. I told my daughter, I'm like, I'm late. And so she's like, grab Loki and close the door.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Hello, Rita.
Before the sprint ended. Hey.
444. Amazing. Formatting sucks so much. Spent that sprint reading more of the D&D campaign book. I suffer from too many abbreviations. What does background stand for here? Google offers Baldur's Gate background, but I doubt either of those are it. Did I say BG? I think I said MG, middle grade.
MG, middle grade.
Yeah. Shoot. I just lost my place everywhere. There it is. Okay. Yeah. I've never seen your office so bright either.
Yeah.
It's all good, CV. You're in your other side of the pond late.
I know, it's super late over there.
Exactly. What are these kids? Like, I get your personality trait type of thing, but like, that's not dictated by what you look like.
No, that is not. That is not.
So,
you can look like one thing, like he might be the jockey kid, but then what if he's just has a total different, like maybe he's a book nerd who happens to be, a jock, and you could totally make that happen. And he's got a very serious personality, not like cracking jokes all the time. You never know. Looks don't mean that you have to be a certain way.
At the end of that sprint, I went and dug up Morgan Lee's presentation on writing diverse characters. So that's on another tab. So that's what we'll be watching next sprint.
Awesome.
And I got 0 words, but I watched a reaction video of one of my favorite YouTubers' most awkward moments. Oh, fun. 724. Hello,
Nice.
Alex. um, someone I'm related to. I'll just say it that way. Okay. I am at a loss in the situation. Bad guy. Hello, Kappa.
Grandpa.
Yay, clean hands. Let's see. I know the new girl in town is a black girl, and I know the others are white. The one has a step parent is white. It's all rural Illinois, and that's just how it happened in my mind.
Yeah. For rural Illinois, I think that makes sense.
The new girl was added after her father, who was the new teacher in town.
Nice.
I just finished watching the fundraiser stream. Are you willing to extend that deadline? I have to pay on my card. Oh, Eva was offering the critique, I think.
That's right.
Okay, so you know how writers Google weird things that happen? What happens when you see a photo and you decide it's a cast? Is that acceptable? I saved a photo offline the other day for that reason. Exactly.
Yeah, that sounds normal.
We're already on various watch lists. Let's see. Yeah, just one. Let's see. Yes, Coraline's very good. No, don't turn it off. We like seeing your room.
Yeah, but it's way too bright, so I'm getting squinty eyes. Like I need to turn down some lights.
Let's see. With my middle grade cast, other than the one that is not white, the rest are white. Since I'm writing each of their POVs, I went around and around on book 3 due to not being a white POV. Let's see. It was a small school's graduation class, the photo for a future webcast. I did it with one of my characters for YA Fantasy. You should be good. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, scrolling all the way back. Answers to the question. Favorite middle grade. Mara says, would have to say Paranorman. I think it's horror. It's a good one. I've only seen the movie. I have not read the book. I think it's a book. I have not read it. Maggie says, I'm a sucker for the classics, and I just finished the entire collection of Grimm's Tales.
Oh yeah, we've got the really old book. It was mine when I was a kid, so it's like from 1980 something, and my kids have it, and it's all torn apart, and they're like, tape it together, don't get rid of it. So.
Just hearing Grimm makes me want to watch The Brothers Grimm, which is a terrible horror movie, but it's fun. Horror fantasy. Let's see, Phantom of the Opera. I'm a horror newbie. I've only slowly started with Dracula and short stories. I'm hoping to read the Grimm Tales soon. I'm terrified of the many movies my sister have made me watch.
Yes, I had an auntie that did that to me. I'm like, do not want any more, like Jason, Freddy, all of those. I'm like, I never have to see any of those again, ever. I'll be good.
She says it's a bit easier to consume on paper than images.
Maybe, yeah.
Eva says, I haven't read a lot of middle grade horror, to be honest. I read some Nancy Drew.
I like Nancy
Horror
Drew.
stories. They were dated for me then, too. Otherwise, not much choice fiction until YA years. I did read some Nancy Drew as well as a kid.
Yeah.
And now I read a ton of middle grade, but no horror yet. Don't do scary. Okay, horror recommendations from me from middle grade. Aside from Coraline by Neil Gaiman.
Which was excellent.
Yes. I also have The Stitchers, which is actually the first of a series, the Fright Watch series. So, go back. Okay. So, The the main girl, her father died. He was a cop and was investigating the neighbors because they don't seem to age. They're all old all the time, but whenever like they get a limp, a few days later, they're sprinting. Like they keep on healing, and something is up with these old neighbors. They're called the oldies. And yeah, so she is trying to come to terms with her dad's death. And she and her friend, they're both in track. They run the neighborhood investigating the oldies, and very good. There is a chainsaw scene, but it is bloodless. Like, it goes there. I was like, holy cow. A little bit easier of a middle grade is The Glass Witch by Lindsay Puckett. So voicey. The character voice was amazing. The descriptions were hilarious. I loved it.
Oh, I did read that. I recommend. It was good. It didn't scare me too much. So
No, that one is more spooky, less horror.
yes, spooky, which I like. Spooky is great. I like paranormal too. So
Yes.
that was a good one.
And then my last middle grade horror. This one's upper middle grade. It's called Hide and Seeker.
That looks scary.
It is scary. So, main character's mother, 1 year before the book starts, died of cancer. And then his best friend went missing. So, the start of this book, his friend that went missing is back, but he's off. There's something off about him. And so they're trying to figure out what happened to him, where did he go, and the kid who came back keeps on reciting these rhymes that are creepy, and like a cursed game of hide and seek ensues, and there's a nightmare world, and it gets kind of dark. It's like, oh. So if you are grieving, don't read it. But if you're okay, it's a great one. Yes. From a long time ago, scary stories to tell in the dark. I have all three of them. Scrolling back.
All right, I'll be right back. Loki's scratching at the door. I want to make him stop doing that. He wants to come in so bad.
Let's see. Laura Nettles, still unpublished middle grade horror about the plant lady. Aw, thank you, Eva. Let's see. I used to read knockoff Goosebumps books. They were the Spine Tinglers series. Those were good. Nice. Okay, I was banned from reading Goosebumps because a substitute teacher in elementary school put on a Goosebumps episode, and it scared me and I had nightmares for weeks. Yeah. CB says, I tried reading Goosebumps when I was 15. Piano lessons can be murder, but I didn't like them. Fair enough. Hello, Loki! There's a creepy episode of Recess, which is not a Halloween special. It's called School World. Flowers in the Attic. At least I think that's what it's called. I don't do horror necessarily, but that one's excellent. Okay, the Goosebumps one that we watched was called Don't Enter the Basement or something like that. Stay Out of the Basement. I think it's called Stay Out of the Basement. But it's the one where the plant replaces their dad. So there's like this plant person that is terrifying. And so that's what inspired my middle grade horror, is me trying to overcome my trauma as an elementary schooler. Let's see. That was the first novel I read through the night to finished an hour before I had to get up for school. I was maybe 13 or 14. Flowers in the Attic. Cool. Well, it is time for our next sprint. So the next question is, can you guys tell me a spooky story? It can be 2 sentences, whatever you've got. Hello, Persephone! That's one of your favorite Goosebumps stories. Yeah, I'm so scared. Flowers and Addict deals with some hard pills to swallow as well. Like trigger warning level hard to swallow. I spy a pugger. Now I want to go buy all the Spine Tingler books. It's going to be my present to myself. Cool. Let me pull up a timer. Not that. That's Morgan. Hi, Morgan. This one. All right. Can I just sing my creepy baby song? Acceptable. Okay. No creepy baby song. I want to sleep tonight. Very cool. Alrighty, let's begin our second sprint. Wrong tab. 3, 2, 1, go! All right, we are back. Woohoo! So, I was watching Morgan Lee's video on writing diverse characters, and so now I am trying to dive deeper into my side characters now. So that's fun. Yeah. Now that you're eating, what were you up to, Nia?
I mostly played with Loki while I tried to write. He didn't have time to jump in my lap, so I had to move all the way back so that he could have room to play in front of me. But I did get some words. Let me turn on my word counter so I can see how many words I got. It is under tools. There we go. I got only one. No, only. I got 197 words.
Very nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't see updates on how people did yet in the chat, but I do see some spooky stories.
Oh, nice. I could not do a spooky story.
Alrighty. Let's get some spookiness. So CB's idea was a school gets a robot system. The robot system takes over the school.
Ooh.
Could be cool. Could be cool.
Okay.
Listen, Goosebumps, Bailey Kids, and Magic Tree House were my childhood, and then my preteens I started my fantasy kick because of Rick Riordan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The most terrifying film was Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Clockwork Orange. Body Snatchers is the only time I just watched to the end so I could leave. Didn't want to be chicken. Ah! I still haven't seen that one. I have seen The Body Snatchers with Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi, but I haven't seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But when I was watching that movie, there's like a dead body in the back of the coach that they're driving, and it's a lightning storm, and like the light is flashing, like the corpse moves, and my feet just went nope up onto the couch.
I love that. Oh no.
Let's see. Hazelnut says, the creature slithers across the floor to the quivering man holding onto the bedpost. I've come to claim the debt you owe me, he hissed. Ooh. Nice. And hello, Nick. Yes, Rent is a scary story. Your insurance premium. Yes.
Yeah.
Angela has a long one.
Ooh, let's see.
Wait, I went and made mine seem like a deck collector. Yes. Okay. A spooky story. One night while at college, several of us were in a car after a rare party or a late night gaming session, and people were getting dropped off because it was cold and wintertime. We had just said our goodbyes and were deciding who to drop off next when a tall figure began to pass under the streetlights and looked like death. I tried to figure out what else it could be as it disappeared and reappeared in its procession, growing closer all the time. I asked the others in the car what they saw, not voicing my opinion. It looked like the Grim Reaper to them too. Just as the driver announced that if that was what it looked like, and coming for the friend who just went inside, he wasn't hanging around. It turned out to be two people leaning on each other.
Oh.
That is spooky. I love the visual coming in and out of the street lamp lights.
Yes.
That's great. I love it.
I like light setting that kind of mood with the dark and the shadows. So nice.
Dusk is my favorite time of day. Just went outside for a bit to enjoy it. Very nice. And Maggie has a story. I wake up with the cat on my pillow licking my tears. It was the same dream. Or do I mean nightmare? Rasp. His tongue felt like it was scraping my soul. It regret. The cat tipped his head and purred, looking at me like he loved me, and I knew he did. He tripped him down the stairs as I fled. My stalker was now under the tulips he used as his pillow.
I like that. Yeah. Cat does not play around. Cat said mess around and find out.
Spickle says, one time I thought I saw a man walk behind a telephone pole and could still see his shadow. Was at a truck stop at night with my mom. I told her and she said nothing was there. Then suddenly, nothing. Actually happened to me. I was terrified. It does sound spooky.
Ooh. That is scary.
So I wrote up a spooky story, but it's not spooky. I'm scared. Finished up my Twitch panels.
Nice.
During the final 5 minutes. I'm a share it anyway. Cool. Yay, share away.
Yay.
Flash written in the sprint. Woohoo! Mitchell's versus the Machines. I have not seen that either. Let's see. I stripped down a spooky, but it's still 1,300 characters. Lay it on us. 538. Wash his hands. Very good. Very good. You're welcome.
Yay.
8 parts. Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
Totally send it to me.
Yeah, it's so funny. The first 2 snippets that you read, I was like, the first one, I would totally turn it in. The one with the school being taken over by robots.
Huh.
I would totally go sci-fi with that one. And then the second one, I'm like, oh, that sounds like I could go dystopian fantasy. Like, that's where my brain does not go horror. It's so weird.
If you want to
Oh my
email
God.
it to me, Eva or Catpop or anybody, authorloreniddles@gmail.com. Instagram. That works too. 254 words. Woohoo!
Ooh, nice.
Wrong button. Okay, cool. Let me go to Instagram. Okay, I'm gonna read it. This is from Eva. We had been estranged a decade when she reached out. I opened the mail, not realizing who had sent it. But then, when I read it, I was overcome with emotion. Dr. Lindsay, my therapist, had always said I didn't need an I'm sorry to forgive my mother. And he was right. But gosh, did that apology feel nice. To have all of the traumas acknowledged was amazing. And the next year of correspondence only made it better. I learned things about my mother I never had a chance to know as a child. Things she had never had a chance to tell me while she was an addict. But there we were, reconnecting, healing. And now it was only 2 weeks until her flight landed and we met again for the first time in so many years. I tried to shake the bad feelings creeping up on me when it was day 3 without a reply. She wasn't always the fastest on emails, but she always replied. And we were trying to pin down arrangements, so it felt jarring when so much time went by without a word. So when I heard the email beep and looked to see it was from her, my heart jumped. But then I read the message. It nearly stopped altogether. Dear recipient, your yearly subscription to Healing Spirits is due. To reconnect the correspondence with Mother 6745, please follow the link to renew your subscription. Healing Spirits, where I'm sorry can come around even if they never do. Signed, Random Dude. Oh no! That's amazing. My first thought was she's already dead, so her ghost is writing the letters. But good job, Eva. Good job.
Yes.
All right, we got one from Catpaw.
Nice.
One One evening, as autumn was turning to winter, I spent the evening with a couple of close girlfriends and was driving home late at night. It was about 2 a.m., and I wasn't particularly tired. My mind was writing a to-do list for tomorrow's day off work. The familiar road was empty, but I was still driving slow as it was drizzling and the temperature was close to freezing. I just turned down to Rhodes Lacombe Chine? I think it's the street. I saw a figure beside the road. They looked about 5'10" and dressed in an old-fashioned oilskin coat. Nothing unusual. They were rather popular with some country folks, and on an evening like this, no fashion police would be out on patrol. How odd, I thought. I didn't know there was a gate in the fence there. Who'd be out walking in the middle of the night in this rather foul weather? Someone who's lost their dog, perhaps. The figure began to cross the road, taking no notice of the headlights of my car. I slowed down to let them pass safely at a pace that wouldn't cause them to startle and slip. They stopped in the middle of my lane. Drunk? I wondered, and slowed down further. I was less than 20 yards away when they just faded, right in the middle of the road. Oh, yay. I stopped to give way for a ghost. I chuckled to myself. At least I didn't have to feel bad for not wanting to pick up a hitchhiker. I checked the fence as I drove past. There was no gate.
Hey, you guys all did great.
Guys are awesome.
Yes, y'all are awesome. All the kudos for you guys.
So Jennifer is trying to describe the hair of an African American woman without using offensive language. Do you have any suggestions?
Just go with curls, or you can say tight curls and leave it at that. Unless
You
it's
say
not straight.
texture curls?
You could. But we usually just we'll say curls or tight curls
Cool.
and leave it at that. People will know.
Let's see if it's third person description. You go a hair type.
Yeah. I don't know if Jennifer knows like what 3A and 4B mean. And I wouldn't want her to describe it wrong.
Yeah. Let's see. True story. Oh. Okay. Let's see.
We're going true story, huh?
Let's see. Yeah. It's always good to ask.
You're welcome. Yeah, sometimes it's like keep it simple is the safest way to go.
I was have to Google my own hair type. Cool. Yeah. So next sprint. That is Morgan's thing. That is not a sprint. Here we go.
Maybe it's a sign we all need to watch Morgan's video.
Yes. Okay. And I'm not sharing my screen anymore. I am so on top of this.
It's okay. You got this, Laura. Ooh, that was pretty. Look at it.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. Good night, Regina. Okay. Let's do our third sprint? Third sprint, I think. Yes. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Woohoo! We did it! Oh. So, I finished watching Morgan's video. It was great. And doing a little bit of a deeper dive into my characters so that their family history will have an impact on how they live their lives. So, my character Maria, I already knew she was Hispanic. So now I've made her a Catholic, but like an Easter Christmas Catholic, who does do Lent. Peter, his mom drags him to the Baptist church every Sunday. So when he gets his POV book, there may be a cleaning the house to gospel music type of situation go down. So that's going to be great fun. Chloe is half Chinese, so her mother speaks Cantonese, is from Hong Kong, and so her mother is Buddhist. They have a family altar, and therefore she gets to be vegetarian. Woo! So that's good to know. It's good to know. Vegetarian. Okay. Yeah, my main character is like Irish descent, Irish American. So yeah, he's a white boy. Yeah, so that's what I went through and tried to dig a little deeper. Yeah, what'd you get up to? You're muted.
I was muted this whole time. I got 264 words, so woohoo.
Nice, nice. Which project are you working on?
I am working on finishing up book 3 of the romances. So I can move on to 4.
Are these the vampire romances?
This is not the vampire romances. The vampire romances I will do second, I think. I've already started doing creating some of the promo stuff for it. So I think that one's going to be second. I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I didn't put an answer in the chat because I was working. But do you want to do the answers now, or do you want to do what everybody did first?
What everybody did first. So Hazelnut did 287 words and watched JC's update. I saw the notification. JC has released a video.
Woohoo!
So, if you don't know, JC is in a bit of a tight spot, and any help would be great. Here is this is the link to JC's GoFundMe. So if anybody has anything they can spare, it would be greatly appreciated.
Yes.
Roy's jangling on the couch.
Yeah.
Oh, hello now. Hello, sir. Oh, he's adorable.
Yes.
Morgan worked on plotting my fantasy story, just writing down big picture plot points. Very cool. And yeah. Do you want to answer first? Before the comments first? Or
Yeah, let's see. Any tips for writing characters not of your own color experience before you send it to a sensitivity reader? Yeah, my best advice is to do your research. If you even think it might be offensive, don't include it in. If it's something that you're trying to say a certain way but you don't know how, just before you send it to your sensitivity readers, you can put in like little brackets. I need for XYZ to happen, and maybe they can help you phrase something that needs to be phrased, or explain a situation in a way that will come off the way that you want it to come off. But yeah, do your due diligence is my best advice. Steer away from stereotypes, especially if you've seen it on TV in the 80s or 90s. No, that's not due diligence. No. So yeah, do your initial research, so that you don't have your sensitivity reader pulling out their hair. And sometimes vague is okay, and you do vague and ask, how do I sprinkle in some things, because we're not a monolith. My experience, I read a lot of urban fantasies, and I can tell you my experience is not like most of their experiences at all. But I still enjoy them. And they are, a lot of times they're Black girls going through whatever the adventure is. My experience is not like theirs, but I can still enjoy it. And likewise, I'll read some where anything that's ethnically related is very mild, or you know that they're a Black character and they're just having the adventure, and I'm okay with that too. Some people are not okay with that. They're like, if it's a Black person or an Asian person, they want to be immersed in it, but you got to figure out what's right for your story. So it's okay to be a little bit vague, and then when you send it to your sensitivity readers, if they are from a specific region, you might want to, if they're from Louisiana or something, you might want to, add in a few things, and your sensitivity readers will help you know, yeah, that's a good one to add, or no, don't add that one. They're going to be like, you're not from here, you can't say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, do your research ahead of time. Have spots where you in your story where you have questions, like you're trying to find a wording for something, so that your sensitivity reader can help you phrase things properly. And if you are vague, just say, where can I sprinkle in some things? Like, I like the idea that you are doing, where he goes to the Baptist church, and so sometimes he's going to be at home cleaning, and with the gospel music, that totally makes sense. You know what I mean? And it's a way that I wouldn't find that offensive. It'd be like, yeah, norms. That's perfectly normal, and a way to just add those little tidbits of their life. So yeah, things like that. That's my best advice. Do your due diligence first, and if you think it's offensive, it probably
is. Nick says, if you have a hint that it'll offend somebody, don't use it, because it's probably correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Always assume that people from that background will be reading your work, so don't write things like, I'm just like you, but I'm different. This happens with autistic characters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's very frustrating, and double check your premises to make sure they are logic. Give your characters background. Okay. It says, I don't see my characters, so hair and basic body types are all that I try to stay consistent with there, and I tend to focus on mannerisms and tics.
Mm-hmm.
Eva says, the other town characters are not all white, but aren't specified. I didn't want to specify these people aren't white, because that feels awkward and racist to me, but I know they aren't. Let's see. Also know that culture within ethnic groups are different. Just like German and French people have different white cultures, African, Hispanic, Asian, and Native groups are significantly different.
Yep.
Eva says, it doesn't just matter what people look like very often in the side characters in my middle grade. Eva says, describing them is the same for me. I write what I see from the POV of a non-white character. I've not done it yet. I'm going to aim for writing for the POV of a 12-year-old girl and see what my readers say. And Nick says, also, no one person will have every single cultural reference or biases correct. Within every ethnicity and every race, there are differences down to the family lines.
Yep. We are not a monolith. We are very diverse within our diversity. So.
Yeah. So, like, I am debating with my bookcase. So, with my Chloe character, her mother is from Hong Kong, but her father is white. I'm wondering, her mother is vegetarian, but should I make her vegetarian as well? Because her mom does the cooking, most likely, in this family. So her mom would be cooking for herself. She probably wouldn't be cooking 2 meals for everybody to have vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Or would they?
Not vegetarian, but I do know that I know vegetarian moms particularly will make more food.
Okay.
Moms will, unless they think that diet is bad, and like if she's like, oh no, red meat, don't do it, then you would say okay, and she might be maybe she's annoyed that she can't have a hamburger. I don't know. You got to decide how you want to make your character. So either she goes along with the mom and enjoys that, but it would not be unusual for a mom to make more food, especially. I believe in Asian culture, they will. I have a mother. My daughter's mother-in-law is Asian, and she will make you whatever you want.
Right.
I am Black, and if you're coming to my house, I too will make you whatever you want. I don't eat cheese, and I make a lot of cheesy dishes. I'll make a lasagna. I'll make if you want a tortilla with a quesadilla, you will have a quesadilla with all the cheese you want in it. I don't eat that though, but if that's what you want, you will get it. So yes, we will make the multiple foods, but if it's something bad, I will deliberately not make it for my kids. I don't buy soda, for example. So when they were younger, they just didn't get soda very much. Except
we only got soda when we had pizza.
Yeah. Soda was like a once a month thing that they would get. But other than that, I wasn't buying it. It wasn't in the house. And when they got old enough to buy their own stuff, doggone it, they bought soda.
Heck yes, I do now.
So that's how that works. If it's something that they think, oh no, when they're growing up, they'll be like, we just won't buy it for them. So yeah. And I'm My daughter's mother-in-law is like that, and she is Asian. She will make sure you get the food that you want, and more food, and take some home.
Very nice. He said the main conflict for my Black 12-year-old character is her paranormal ability that she only just realized.
I like that.
But it has nothing to do with where she's from and everything to do with where she is.
I like that. I like stories like that, to be honest. Like, she doesn't have to be the one walking around like everybody's hurling racial slurs at her because she's the only Black girl in school. We don't need all that. Just let her be the girl with the magical powers and go on the adventure. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I like what Zara says without pigeonholing stories to be about the trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can just be a character.
Yeah, just be a character having a fun adventure who's got, oh my gosh, I got some paranormal powers. Where'd these come from?
Nick says, if the characters don't need super descriptions such as hair, skin color, etc., we don't have to know them. And if your fear is you're writing someone's ethnicity incorrect, sensitivity readers at every stage might be necessary, especially if you're worried. But if the story doesn't need the descriptor, it's not relevant, so don't need to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a snippet.
Woohoo!
Marlo's ear fins twitched, and he lay down on his side to be lower than Eric, standing up, but level with him when he sat down. Then maybe you should feed it to me, he said. Nice. Nice.
I like where this is going.
Angela says, how do people here feel about writing diverse characters or staying in your own lane? What do you prefer to see and when? Yeah.
I like diverse books. I I don't like it when people do it really, really cringy. That does bother me. And I'm like, oh, they didn't really try. But as long as they try and nothing is like blatantly like offensive, especially whatever for the time period. If I'm reading something from the 90s, I'll be expecting to see something different. If I'm reading likewise, if I'm reading something from the 70s. But I enjoy reading diverse books, and I don't care who writes them. Just don't. If you're writing it now, do same thing. Do your due diligence. Just don't be deliberately offensive and let your characters have fun in the story. I'm good with it.
So I just read The Glass Witch by Lindsay Puckett, and there is a Muslim girl as the best friend. Well, new friend becomes best friend of the main character. And I loved the description when the main character goes to the other girl's house for the first time. Yeah. And there is the description of the prayer room with the Quran on the stand and the scriptures written on the walls. It was beautiful. And I was like, yes. Like,
yeah. And I think it's her grandfather, the friend's grandfather and her grandmother. They have this long time friendship. It's just really nice.
They're romantically attracted to each other. It's an old people romance.
Yes.
It's like, yes. Like, it was beautifully done. And I was very happy. Like, it's not my religion, but it was portrayed beautifully. And I enjoyed that. It was something I haven't seen very often, especially in like a middle grade.
Yeah.
So,
and clearly she must have done her due diligence because I haven't heard anybody complain.
Mm-hmm.
So do it. Just be careful. Just be careful. Take care when writing diverse characters. But yes, the world is diverse. It's okay to make your stories diverse.
Mm-hmm. See, Morgan says, I feel like research is the best answer I could give, not to plug my own AWC presentation last year, but writing diverse characters, which I just watched. That's a 4. And please do not just assume people outside of your race will want to educate you. It can be exhausting for them as well. And don't just pin that on someone of color that you know, please.
Yeah. Go to an actual person who says, I do diversity reading for you. Go to that person.
Yeah. There are people on Fiverr that offer that up for pay. I'm not sure. There is a Facebook group called A Binder Full of Sensitivity Readers. Well, people will say, hey, I read for this and this and this. I'm not sure where else to find them. Do you have any ideas of where to find sensitivity readers?
No, I think you just named the one that I was thinking of. The Binder Full of Diversity is the one I was thinking. Where it's a group of many people who and they list off. I'm pretty sure that's the one.
Yeah. So Facebook and Fiverr.
Yep.
It was a good soapbox, Nick.
Yes, we appreciate it.
And good night, Mama Maggie.
Good night.
Let's see. Watched a video about how to sew insertion lace on YouTube. I just finished washing dishes and prepping for a brunch tomorrow. Question 3 was telling me a spooky story. Question 4 was any tips for writing a character not of your own color or experience before you send it to a sensitivity reader?
Yeah. Oh, one other thing that I will say, because we do notice when this happens, if you have, I don't know, 8 or 9 characters, and one character has all of the marginalizations in it, we'll notice that. Because you want to tick a bunch of boxes, but you tick the boxes with one character.
And then you kill them off.
We see you if you do that.
Yeah.
Spread all of the marginalizations around to some of the other characters. Don't make it just the one.
Yeah. I liked Morgan's presentation on how it's not just color, but also like culture and sexuality and disability
Disabilities,
and
yes.
like there's a whole plethora of ways to have diversity.
Yes. And there's a lot of times you'll be reading a book and everybody's a cis het white person, except for the one character who is black and half Hispanic and also gay and also has ADHD and also suffers from anxiety. And it's like, you gave that one character a whole lot of things. Why did you do that?
Yeah. I was watching one video about writing diversely, and they're like, usually you won't have the one token friend in a friend group because usually friends like to be with people similar to them. Yep. So, like, usually they won't be the only one in the group with their minority.
This is true.
Let's see. Maybe. Okay. I would recommend doing some research and talking to people of the different backgrounds you're trying to portray and also have them read your story to make sure there aren't any stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Heather! Or biases in the work. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to try a quesadilla from Nia now.
Oh, no. Yeah.
There's also home versus school lunches, outings, neighborhoods. Okay. Y'all would love me then. I love food. I will gladly take some food home for later.
Yes. Yes.
People should diversify their lanes.
Yes.
If the only lane you're in is a race, you're missing out on a lot of other lanes.
Mm-hmm.
See, I love diverse characters, but I hate when it's overtly like, this person is fill in the blank. Like, calm down. For me personally, I want the diversity, but I want it written well.
Yes.
I'm a diverse author, disabled, but I actually find it difficult to write disabled characters. I think because I'm so close and want to do everything so well.
Yeah, you probably there's a little, you might feel a little pressure to make it right because you've experienced it. And, just remember, even within the disability community, there's a wide range, not only of the disabilities, but how people react to their disability. Some people take it with stride and some people really struggle with it. And it's okay to write that person who maybe has a very difficult disability and they're chilling. They're just like living their best life, even though it's okay to write that character, but it's also okay to write the character that's really struggling with it.
And some people have better insurance.
Yeah.
Let's see. I want diverse people to exist. Never, ever since realizing that so much I consumed is all white and that I hadn't realized that sooner, I want my settings to be real.
Yeah.
Like, it was really cool. We were in Williamsburg, I think, doing the whole historical tour around all of the museums and stuff.
Yes, I've done that many times.
Yeah, it's like, well, here was a well-to-do, very rich, very well-off person of African descent in the States. I was like, whoa, look at that! It wasn't all just a dichotomy. Like, there's diversity in the diversity.
Yep, there was diversity within the diversity. Done that tour many a time. I love going up there. Yeah. Williamsburg, another one of my favorite places to hang out. We'll have to do that more now that we don't go to the other place ever again, probably. I don't know. Sadness. I will miss the other place.
but I'm chill with boring white ladies. This middle grade wasn't originally going to have one book from each cast member. It just has a mind of its own. I've had so many offer to read for me. I'll take up all of you at some point or another for alpha and beta. Not sure I'll need sensitivity readers, but I want readers who would tell me if I did. That's a good point.
Yeah, very good point.
Let's see. Do your due diligence, and when you're dealing with a certain point in history, it's best to represent that area with specificity.
Don't do that. Yes. Don't shove all your diversities into one thing. We will see you. Like, I see what you did.
One cast member has a parent getting remarried, stepfather coming into things. Another is in placement, foster care, and reconnects with their bio parent eventually. Ooh. It was a while ago, but I was talking with Gloria from Gloria Race the Blues, and she used to be a librarian in Mississippi. And she was talking with people who would come up and ask for book recommendations and stuff. And one of them thought that they couldn't be queer because they lived in a trailer. And no queer character in any of the books they read lived in a trailer. And so they're like, they thought it was mutually exclusive. So it's like interesting. So I think it's important to have a diversity with like of income level as well as sexuality as well as everything else. Like not everybody is middle class.
Yeah.
Or upper middle class. But yeah, let's see. Do any of you do non-disclosure agreements? I have never done one. I only do those for work. Actually, I've done it with an editor. But that was it. And they're the ones who sent it to me. I didn't ask for one. Diversity stacking.
I like this. I was going to write an essay about that. Do it. Because that way people who maybe are doing it and don't realize that they're doing it will see that they're the ones doing it. Because sometimes I think they're well-meaning and they think they're doing it good. And it's like, oh. But were you though? I don't know.
Victoria says, I will write it once I finish this last homework assignment.
Yay.
Yes, go for it.
Yes. We're here for it.
I made an NDR when I hired a freelancer once, mainly so that income wasn't common knowledge in the community. As an editor, my contracts will request my name not be mentioned in print. Cool. And Kofi for JC's update. I usually try to credit the people I've used in my indie books, so would want to know that. That is very true. I've heard that if people are mentioned in acknowledgments, readers might attack the sensitivity readers instead of the author, but others might not care.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just ask them how they want to be credited.
Mm-hmm. And I can't remember who said that, so I don't know if/how often that happened. 2 of my main characters live in trailers. Ooh. Yeah, especially if it's middle grade.
Yeah.
I just don't think they say / would dream of such a thing. How sad. Good intentions, poor execution.
Yes.
I don't read the acknowledgements. Oh no! All right, last comment. As an editor, it's the authors don't take all the suggestions, and sometimes I don't want someone to think I had edited the book. Not a lot, but sometimes. So it's just easier to never be mentioned. Yeah. Very true.
He was like, just pay me and keep it rolling.
I'll help you as much as you'll let me help you.
Yeah.
As much suggestions as you'll take.
It's like, oh, you took like none of my suggestions. Don't put my name on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I had a great editor. Eva edited it for me. Eva's like, nah, I
Maybe
tried.
take the credit. Cool. Well, it's been 2 hours and 47 minutes. So I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yes.
It has been a fabulous discussion.
Yes.
Lots of book talk, sensitivity stuff. It's been great.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think it's time for bed.
It is definitely time for me. I need to not go to sleep. I think I'm just gonna close my eyes and audiobook it tonight. I'm always tired after I do my workouts because I'm like, oh, my energy is like gone. As soon as I sit down, I'm like, oh, there, like the adrenaline just goes. I'm like, my eyes. I need to try and keep my eyes open.
Your eyes are important.
Yes.
But so are your hands.
Yes.
Would
Yeah.
you like to do an introduction?
Sure. I'm Nia. Most of you guys know me. You can find me under Vixen of Fiction, all of it interwebs. I will be streaming tomorrow, Friday, on Twitch at 11 for the lunch hour, and then I'll be back, I think, at 4:30 for the afternoon rush. And then Saturday, we're doing AuthorTubers React, and it'll be our last one before summer break. So we have a couple interesting topics to talk about and get to hang out with our friends. So come join us Saturday night at, I think, 7:30 is the time we're doing that one.
Awesome. So I'm Laura. I have a horror book out. It's a collection called Tiny Shivers, and you have been on my channel. If you can, please help JC Carpenter. She is fabulous and amazing and has just released an update. If you're not subscribed to her, subscribe. She just hit 1,000. Hooray!
Yeah.
So
I'm so excited. I think she's at 1.05. So hopefully she'll be at 1.1 soon. Very excited. But watch those videos so she can start capitalizing on that.
yeah, you can keep up to date on all of her writing progress and
Yes, she's great backlist too. Great
Mhm.
backlist.
hour-long vlogs weekly.
Lots of self-care stuff. Really good.
She just did a Brandon Sanderson experiment. well.
Yes.
So
We
yeah.
tried it.
So let's do the thingamajig, the outro video. Yeah.
Outro
See you
video.
guys later. Bye.